The purpose of a simulation is to enable you to understand the implications of relationships as they unfold over time, which means you actually have to have a way to sense or see the implications of the relationships or the unfolding of the simulation. So within Insight Maker, there's a very nice graphics feature for charts displays. So when you actually run the simulation, it creates a default chart for you, and it assigns or puts those primitives that you have created on it, but you can then configure it as you wish. So this is shows you here that you can actually have multiple displays, and you can add a new display, and you can then go ahead and configure that new display. Say it's a time series, and I want to know the current state and apply it, and I now see the current state. Because Insight Maker is written in JavaScript and runs in your browser, all the values of all of the variables are saved during the run. So if you want to create a new graph and add additional elements to it that weren't on a previous graph, you can just go ahead and add them and display it without having to rerun the simulation over again. And I find that really convenient, because I usually don't know all of the things that I want to display until I look at some of them and say, well, I wonder what this looks like, or I wonder what this looks like. So it's some of that trial and learning stuff. If you create one that you don't want, you can just go ahead and delete it. You can order the displays, change the order so that it moves them around. And how did I start this? I started this. Okay. For any particular display, you can configure it. You can say that you can give it a title. You can define whether it's a time series, scatter plot, or tabular. The map is for agent-based simulations, which we haven't covered in this course. So if you want the plot to be tabular, simply go ahead and change it, and then it will go ahead and give you the data points as opposed to looking at a chart. You can go back and change it back. A scatter plot simply plots two variables and the intersection of the data points for two variables. You get to select which of the items you want to have displayed on the chart. You can tell it to automatically add new primitives as you create them. You can define the X and Y axis, minimum and maximum, tell it where you want the legend to be, whether or not you want to show markers or lines or use area plots. And you also have the option to do a secondary axis on the right hand side and apply and put some of the variables there. Imagine if you have some variables that are in the thousands range and some of them are in the tens range. If you plot them all on the same axis, the large values will overshadow the small values, which will just end up looking like straight lines at the bottom of your chart. So if you take the one of them and put them on the other axis so it scales differently, then you can go ahead and see two different ranges of plots at the same time. So I just find that the chart feature, the chart table configuration feature, is very convenient. Everything configures on one panel, and it's for whichever one of the charts that you select. You configure it, or if you add a new one, it then goes ahead and you're configuring the new one and you can add a new title to it. So just a bit of information about the chart and table capability, which, as I said, doing simulations without an ability to quickly look at the result of the simulation would be sort of useless. So take care, and I'll see you in the next segment. Bye.